Get ready for news and views from Lubbock, Texas, USA. What's going on and real talk with people who move and do things. This is the Focus LBK Show with your host, Robert Jenkins.
Hey, what's good, LBK? This is Robert Jenkins coming to you with episode 138 of the Focus LBK Show. I got a fabulous in-studio guest today, as you can see. Miss Elyse Arnold. She is an artist extraordinaire based right here in the LBK in the fair flat city that we all inhabit. Man, I'm really happy to have her on. So I've got to know her a little bit through her work that has been exhibited at Caviel's Art Museum and Arts Gallery and Museum is what we're trying to call it. And man, you got some dope stuff. And one of the things that I like about you is we always get started on these deep conversations about the meaning behind art and the impulse behind art and all that kind of stuff. But it's always First Friday Art Trail or something. So we don't want to monopolize all the time. You know, you got to mix and mingle and all that kind of stuff. So, well, guess what? I got her for about an hour today if we go that long. And I'm going to tell you what, man, at least talk to us a little bit, because I think you're from Hobbs, Corpus Christi via Hobbs,
Yep.
Then came to Lubbock. You've been doing art, you've been drawing since you were a kid. Mm-hmm. Well, talk to us about how you started off, and then talk to us about your journey to Lubbock, to Texas Tech, and get into that Texas Tech art program a little bit.
For sure, yeah. At some point when I was about 6 or 7, I had a How to Draw a Cat book, and I was doodling based on that. And at one point, I looked back at the page and I realized, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can be an artist. And I kind of just went with that for the rest of my life. I was self-taught for most of my life. I did a couple workshops, a couple programs here and there, and what was available in Hobbs. And like I said, I was born in Corpus Christi, so whatever art programs they had at those museums at the time, I remember learning how to do ceramic and going through the art gallery there and just being really inspired as a kid. And I grew up watching a little bit of anime. I like that style more than the American Western cartoon styles, even though I watch those more. But something about the anime style I really like. So as I continued being inspired by that art as a teenager and wanting to get better and more realistic, going to school really helped me with that. And that was kind of my my goals going to get my bachelor's in fine arts, was learning how to take what I know and learn more and marry the two, so I can just keep growing and just keep sharpening my tools, but also learning how to pick up more tools and get better at what I like to do. So I learned at Texas Tech, I learned how to weld and jewelry make, and did one class of ceramics, and just all over the board. You pick an emphasis at Texas Tech when you go into art, but they have you pick one thing, and they force you to do a whole bunch of other stuff just to make sure. But for me, I took what I learned from all previous different experiences, and then when I was in school, and took it to other media too, like in welding in particular. My professor knew I was a painter primarily, and he's like, why don't you paint the welding? And I was like, that's an idea. I can do that. And so I just ran with that with the rest of my welding projects, and really learned how to get on more surfaces than just wood or canvas or paper. And I've been painting on walls for a grip of years now too, and that's a whole different type of beast of art in itself. It behaves the same, but since it's large scale, it's a little different.
Interesting. What's so well, aside from the scale, what's different about it?
Weather is a big thing.
Yeah.
I prefer painting indoors because of that, because by the time we get good weather here in Lubbock, it's either windy or it's too hot, and so I really have to gauge when I work on things based on that. If it gets too cold, like I was working on the Contra School mural back in the fall semester, ended up finishing in the spring semester because that time during the holidays was just too cold.
Right,
Even though we
right.
had like 80 degrees on Christmas, but you
Right.
know.
Yeah. And that's kind of killing me too, man. I like my seasons.
Yeah. We get it all in one day. It's fine.
Yeah, right. Wish we could spread it out and make them longer and be actual seasons. But hey, that's a whole other thing. You know, you said something to start off with that just took me back down memory lane, because I think I was in about second or third grade, about 82 or 83. And we used to have those scholastic book fairs. You know, you can get a book free or whatever. Or I think you had to pay for them. But anyway, over at Hardwick Elementary, man, I had 1 year on the book fair. I got a book called How to Draw something, like almost anything. How to draw something. It was about drawing. And I remember they had a helicopter in there. That was the first page, how to draw a helicopter. And man, I drew the heck out of that helicopter, because they broke it down so simple. It was like, start with a circle, and then draw this, and then start with a circle right there, and then put a circle in that circle, and I followed them instructions, and my helicopter was dope. So I said, "Boy, I'm an artist," and I was. But then what happened is, you get through the rest of the book, you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm not. Okay, it gets progressively harder. My human figure don't look as good as my helicopter did, but hey.
See, that's how it starts. People tell me all the time, oh, I can't draw a straight line, or I can only draw a stick figure. And I tell them, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Because it all starts out with lines and squiggles and shapes. You get to the point where you start adding the details and the finer, like you start, fine tuning it, but it all starts out with shapes. And you just got to figure out how you're going to make those shapes do what you want it to, basically.
Yeah. When you do your art, when you make art, do you feel any kind of spiritual, what do I want to call it, like a spiritual journey? Do you feel like a spiritual, like you go into a spiritual realm? Is it a spiritual process?
Sometimes, kind of. What really kind of happens is my art is like evidence of my spiritual journey. Like I like to do a lot of images based on human bodies that have elements to them, or some sort of conflict, like good and evil. I've been doing that since I was, a small artist. The good and evil really resonates, just biblically and otherwise, and just how human nature is, that we have to make choices and stuff. So like I said, like it's the evidence of having those processes and feelings and like breakthroughs and stuff. And a lot of the times how I basically transmute it into a visual is asking myself, well, how does this feel like? Do I feel heavy? Do I feel a weight? Do I feel a presence? Do I like a cloud? Or do I feel the opposite? Sometimes I can like really illustrate happiness and freedom. I've got a couple pieces called Liberation. Like a lot of my my people are cutting strings or breaking chains, things like that. Yeah. So it's not so much in the moment that it's like spiritual. It's a whole lot of like, that's when I'm grounded, because I can focus on just that and just like releasing what I've been feeling emotionally, physically, and all these things, because it all like manifests, right? And so I make it manifest somehow on a surface, and it resonates with a lot of people that way. I could come to or I can make a piece and I can say this is what it means to me, but what I really like doing is asking people first, what's this piece mean to you? Like, what do you think it means? And they come up with a whole different experience that they've lived, and they're able to talk about it. And sometimes I've been able to watch the breakthrough happen in their eyes, like, whoa, something makes sense in my life now, because I'm able to see this like looking back at me. And so it's not just for me, and that's what I look forward to, is being able to share that whatever experience it is with other people too. And that's what art's about. It's objective, subjective. It's however you want to slice and dice it. But at the end of the day, it's like a release. It's I'm human, and this is how I felt, or this is what I want to see in the world, and so I made it.
Do you ever feel like a conduit?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
The reason I asked that question is that when I do art, I do poetry and I make photos and videos, and I started off trying to make music, and I did that for about 20 years. I still like to do it, but I just don't have the time to mess with it like I used to. So I do more engineering behind the board than actually playing anything or making anything. But I remember I had a friend of mine here in Lubbock. This is back before I left and went on my journey throughout life. But I had written something. It was a poem called "The Face of Fear," and I remember I had recited it for this lady, and she was like, "Wow, you said their eyes are cues, like there's questions in their eyes." Because it was like, I said, it was about. At the time, I thought being young and black, I thought people were afraid of me, the face of fear, you know what I'm saying? And I had a scene in that poem where you crossing the street. I said, crossing the street, I hear the thud of automatic door locks locking and quiet yuppies sit with sunglasses blue blocking. Their eyes accuse from behind the tinted windows of their BMWs. And she heard that part and she's like, their eyes are cues. She thought it meant like questions, cues. But I said, no, their eyes accused. But anyway, she had a whole different concept and a feel from what I was saying. I looked at that and I realized a lot of times people don't even, they're totally left field as what they're getting from your piece. And sometimes I'm totally left field from what I get from my own stuff. When I sit down sometimes, and this is where the conduit part comes in, sometimes I sit down and I have a funny feeling like, oh, I need to write something. Oh, I'm writing. And I think I'm going to write about something. And then when I get done, I look at it and go, hey,
where'd that come from? Like, I went a whole different direction.
That is not what I thought I was going to write. What is that? What is that? That's the conduit part of it. Where does that come from? And like, do you fear that? Do you like that? How do you try to evoke it? Do you make it happen, or do you just let it happen?
I try to invite it, I guess. Like, I want to be that conduit where I can spread something, like with the art. I used to write a lot too. Poems were fun to write, and it just kept inspiring me to just keep drawing the scenes and the people I would write about and things. So I dove more into art that way and put down the writing and started to do storytelling in the pieces, which is why I call my brand name Articulating. It's not just the play on words of art, which is a huge part of it, but articulating, because I'm like articulating a story in a lot of my pieces. I love doing conceptual pieces. I can't off the top of my head right now think of a piece where I started out one way and it turned out a different way, but I know what's happened. And there's a lot of times where I've worked on something with a concept, finished it, looked back and was like, oh, that's what I was feeling, or where did that come from? Or like, it's very honest stuff. Like, I can even receive a different message out of it, if I'm not paying too much attention on like how I do a color. I can even see that as a message, like, oh, I chose blue because I was feeling down that day. Like, it's very on the surface, but also very intricate too. Like, there's layers to it. Like, I like using symbology, like objects, or like I said, chains and strings, stuff like that. Very on the nose, but they can mean tons of different things for a lot of different people in a lot of phases in just individual lives. So I like to be that conduit in a way that I'm experiencing human emotions that other humans can and do also, and that it's okay. Like, it's okay to feel those emotions as long as we're not like acting out on it, and art is my safe place to pour all that, just whatever I'm feeling, the sadness, the anger, the even boredom, like even that can be dangerous sometimes, idle hands and all that. It's always been an outlet for me. Before, mental illness diagnosis and stuff like that, I can look back at my drawings as a teenager and be like, oh, there it is. Like, I've been able to see chronologically really how I've grown in my art based on not just like the skill level, but just how I portray messages of certain emotions and triumph and things like that. So I try to just incorporate as much as I can, but also keep it like very digestible. Like you can still like take it in instead of it being so busy or foreign, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you this. When you look back at some of your older work, what's your overwhelming feeling? Is it more often like, oh, what was I doing? Or is it like, that was pretty good, but actually I don't look at it that same way. I feel this way now, and it's the same message, but it's a different take on it.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the evolution of yourself in there?
Yes. I don't have hardly anything that I've made over the years. They just go where I sell them, or they get displayed somewhere, or whatever. So I don't have a lot of old stuff outside of like prints or archive stuff that I kept and hung up in school or from school. But yeah, I can remember that era or that phase in art where, like, particularly getting away from doing outlines or not using black or outlines and using more color than just white and black, things like that, because it was things I was learning over, like, during different semesters or even before I was going to school. I remember wanting to learn how to use colors for highlights and lowlights versus just black and white. And so I've got pieces like that showcase here. This is where I'm trying to make it make sense on my own, being self-taught that way. And then during different semesters in school, I can remember particular pieces off the top of my head right now, like where I was trying to implement just more like fluidity, I guess, and less like trying to get perfection and realism, just trying to find my style each time I was learning something new. Because there was one semester in the kit we didn't have black, we had to make black, like in the 3 different colors we had, and so I was like, yes, this is my chance to like learn. It was forcing me, it was that immersiveness to force me to figure out color hues and shadows and highlights without, you know, all the colors, or at least that one.
That's interesting. My son takes some art classes from time to time. Matter of fact, he takes them once a month. I say time to time. It's on first Saturday of the month.
Nice.
And it's an oil painting. And I was at one of his acrylic.
Acrylic painting.
Oh, okay.
Oil painting.
Okay, I forgot to hook your mic up, so I got to troubleshoot that mic. Anyway, the acrylic painting, and I was in there for one of those class periods where she told him you're going to have to make these colors. They're not in the thing, so you're going to have to, and it's some combination of this color and this color and this color, so I'll let you do it. And I think that's pretty cool. I like my palette, or my art that I choose to work with is photography mostly, and video. But I find myself, I like black and white photos probably the most, although I don't get to take them that much because people want to see color. And that you just kind of made me think of that when you was talking about how to make black and white, but not using black and white. That's black and white to me, man. When you make a photo in black and white, it just, first of all, it like automatically looks classy and like, oh, that must be good. It's black and white, you know.
Right.
Sometimes it ain't good, but even being in black and white makes it look like, oh, you know what he's doing. It's black and white, boy. But it's not necessarily the case. And then I noticed too, when I take black and white photos, you have to look at the world differently than you do when you're taking color photos, because color, certain things catch the eye and suggest themselves, and certain framing and composition suggests itself. But if it's in black and white, you get different cues and different stimuli that make you, no, that's not the right shot. No. There it is. And it's a whole different picture of the same thing.
Definitely, because you have to worry more about, like, not worry more, but you have to be pay more attention to the composition and contrast, really, to make it not just, you know, to whatever. It's like, you take away the color, so you have to focus a little more on the other things to make it a really nice black and white picture. Because, you can take any picture and then turn it black and white, like, oh, that's nice. It's real, you know, classy. It looks real kind of timeless now. Yep. But when you edit those contrasts and the highlights and things like that and make it just really pop, like you just can't go wrong with that. Yeah, it's a whole different thing to make a photo in black and white with that plan when you go out. So I have my camera set to black and white. Gotcha. So you already know, like, the composition and tones you're looking for. Yeah, because I've learned that I cannot take a good black and white photo or a great black and white photo
if it's color while I'm looking at it, because you don't see the same things in black and white. It's just not the same. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't evoke the same feelings. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when you're looking at it in black and white, then you can see what that scene has to offer. It's almost like when they say when you sculpt things, you're letting the rock tell you what it wants to be.
Right.
I've heard people say that. I that's what the same. It's kind of the same with the black and white photo versus color. You gotta let it tell you where to point the camera and how to tilt it and how to frame it and what to blur out, and you know, it talks to you. Art is definitely a dialogue with the self and with the medium too, and with everything. It's all it's the surroundings. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, there's a lot of things that can be turned into art, and like learning different things and like art history. Like there was an artist who made a display of her bed when she was bed rotting for like a while after a breakup, and made that the display because like she finally peeled herself out. Went to go get a glass of water, came back, and was like, wow, this is the evidence of me, like, surviving. Yeah. I survived this mess. She had, like, bottles and cigarette butts and clothes and stuff and everywhere. But, like, she made that an art installation just the way it was. So, I mean, that just... You can make anything art if you value it that way, you know, and want to make a statement that way. And people get intimidated about art, I feel, about their apprehension of wanting to do it because they're not going to be awesome at it at first. But that's like with anything. If you don't know how to skateboard, you're going to learn how to fall first. Yeah.
And get back up.
And that's the thing. I'll tell anybody, practice. If you are passionate about whatever, you know, you just keep doing it and you just get better. Like, that's just the way it goes. I mean, there's a lot of media that I've picked up and how to put it down because I was like, nah, I don't have time for that learning curve right now. But then there's also been times where I've picked it back up and I was like, oh, this is actually, I got this. So you just don't give up. Whatever avenue that, you know, your hobbies or your passions like take you, just don't give up doing that. And it'll take you, you know, you have no idea where it'll take you. You sound like from something you said earlier, it sounds like you kind of are constantly evolving or moving because you don't have a lot of your old work, you were saying. No, I don't. But so do you never get a chance to I got a book right here by a cat named James Watkins. He's a sculptor from he's from Alabama, I think, originally, but he came here like in the 70s, and he's professor up at Tech back in the days, and he got some dope stuff. And he hit me to a term called contemplating the work. And I was like, that's what it is. That's a real thing. I didn't know that. I do that. You look at your old stuff and you just digest it and think about it and smell it and move it around and stuff. And then he was saying what you do is what he does is when you're contemplating the work, what you're actually doing is thinking about the next evolution, how to make it better, what to change. And so I was like, see, you can tell you went to school. I'm like, okay, because do you do that though, even though you don't have a lot of your old work? Yeah, I post everything on my Facebook, so I like to look at my memories and see where I was at. And like just yesterday, my memories, I graduated from Texas Tech, so that was cool. And before then, I was seeing all the progress in my finals and like all my anxiety, just like, oh, I can get this right. Yeah. And then seeing like I got an A, I got a whatever, and so I see a lot of my old work on my Facebook because I've had it for a while, and I love seeing it. Sometimes I get inspired by it, and I've got some pieces that I've redone a couple of times over the years. Like there's one that ended up being a mural over at Mad Hatter's that I painted about 7 or 8 years ago. The first one, I painted her 5 years after the first one, and then I decided, okay, I want this on a wall. And within a year of me like saying that on Facebook, I got the opportunity to put her on a whole wall and a half, just herself and her planets and stuff. And she's my favorite mural. She was like number 15, I think, out of the murals I've done, and she's my favorite. And she's at Mad Hatter's. She's a sun goddess. So a lot of the times I like to see my strengths and analyze my weaknesses and do it different. Like, okay, well, how am I going to do it now? Yeah. And so I like to see my evolution in different pieces like that. Like there's a piece of Maleficent from the Maleficent movie, the first one, where she's going, shh. As soon as I saw that image in the movie, I was like, well, I gotta draw that now, hold on. So I've been drawing that one a couple of times over the years. The first one was pencil, and then I did one in ink, and then the latest one I did, which is a couple months ago, was on Procreate digitally, and so that was the first time doing that digitally. So I've been trying to like take different pieces and use it in a different media that I'm more proficient in now. Like I've been primarily an acrylic artist for most of my like art career.
Right.
I describe myself as a painter, but I also do digital art. I do photography also, and things like that. And yeah, I'm just art's everything, anything I can get my hands on. Really, just it's fun.
It is. Let me ask you this question then. Since art is fun, I often think about this for myself. What would you do if you could no longer make your art?
Man, okay. I don't know. Which is why it took me so long to, like, want to go to college for art. Because, like, I got my associate's degree in art at the junior college back in Hobbs, back in my 20s. And couldn't really decide what to go to school for during my 20s, because I was like, I already know how to do art. I don't need to go to school for art.
Right.
Well, I learned a lot more going, so I don't know what I'd be doing if it wasn't for art. Like, I really don't know. I ask myself that a lot. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I just have my studio, and just everything in between is just art related.
That's cool right there. I got my little podcast studio here. I was wanting to make this into a photography studio as well, but as you can see, it's pretty. I need another whole this much space again to do that. I got some stuff up here, and my aim was to come up here on the weekends and pour me some wine and put on some good music and get the lights right and just mess with stuff. Create some kind of. I want to do collages.
That's always fun. At the building I've got my studio at, I've had little collage parties with some people. We just bring material on this conference table we have up there and just make a collage for a couple hours, and we all walk away with something that we can, hang up. I've got like 3 because I've done it a couple of times over there. So collaging is always fun. I use it as a vision board or like manifestation. Like it started out for me like not just things that I aspired to be, but like good attributes, because there's been some that I've been more drawn to the bad, like traits, and like I didn't like seeing that later on. Like, nah, I'm not really like that though. I'm not really like evil. Like I like the empowering self stuff. So collages are great. Like if you don't know what to art or how to art, you just pick different magazines, get a scalpel, and just buzz that stuff out, and it's again, it's art. It's a way to release and like capture something that you can like look back at and like just draw that inspiration, that empowerment from.
Do you ever feel drawn to darkness?
Not necessarily. I don't watch scary movies. I don't like it. I don't like I don't like the bad guys. I don't like spooky stuff in a lot of areas. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of bad things and bad people, and I'm trying to just be love, light, and a little bit of rock and roll over here, and just try to. I don't like the spooky, but a lot of my illustrations do feature demonic something or some sort of darkness, goo or cloud or something like that. But again, that goes back to the human nature of emotions and making choices and things like that. So, I don't like the spooky stuff. I don't like evil. I never really. If you pull out a Ouija board, I'm out.
Oh,
I'm
no,
out.
we ain't playing with none of that.
No. See, I rather just be in the.
You want to see how fast I can move? Pull something out like that and see what happens. Yeah,
you won't catch me at Hell's Gates, like looking for trouble type stuff.
That's funny. Let me set the record straight here, because you call it Hell's Gate. I'm old enough to know or remember when that was nothing. It was just a railroad trestle. It ain't, y'all, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not Hell's Gate. It's just a railroad trestle. We used to hike out there and do all kind of stuff back in 78, 82, you know what I'm saying? It's just a railroad trestle. And it's owned by Pico, by the way. People may not know that, but Hell's Gate. It's cool to have a legend because see, I was gone for about 25 years. So when I came back, they was like Hell's Gate, Hell's Gate. I was like, what is a Hell's Gate? And they shot. Man, that ain't no Hell's Gate. That's a trestle. That's just a railroad trestle. But it's actually a cool area because now it didn't have all that spray paint and stuff on it back in the day.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I went out there and just sat down in the trees and painted.
Yeah.
Like,
and that did you sense anything?
It was daylight. It was fine. But I respect that stuff. I don't want nothing to do
I'm
with
like
it.
you. I don't mess with that kind of stuff too much. But I often, as an artist, do consider. I guess it's because you're aware of the duality of things.
That's right.
Yeah, and I often feel like I want to go over there and get a good photo of it, but at the same time, I don't want to go over there and get a good photo of it. You know, what I'm saying? So I know. I always had that weird thought, like if you take especially as an audio recordist, like you might be recording something, and when I was a kid, we had a weird, scary experience at my house with some EVP, electronic voice phenomena or something like that, whatever you want to call it. And I think I was in like first or second grade when that happened. And we had just got this Montgomery Ward stereo. It was fancy. It was cheap, little cheap thing. At the time, it seemed like it was great. So we're in there, me and my mom and dad, and my little brothers weren't even born. We're just so long ago. We're in there. We had got the little microphone with it and stuff. So we're all singing, got the cassette in there recording, playing a record and singing to it or something. And this still kind of like creeps me out when I say it. This is like real too, y'all. This ain't I ain't making this up. So we're singing, and then I sang something and we played it back. It was okay with her. Dad got on, did his thing, and we played it back. And then my mom got on there. She sang something, probably We Are Family. That was one of her songs. We Are Family. Then we go to play it back, and nothing that she did was on the tape. It was a weird, deep, male sounding voice, and it said something like, "Gail, what are you doing?" or something like that. And her name is Gail.
I got chills.
and she got. I was a kid. I was like, what the? And my mom, she was almost crying. She looked at my dad. She's like, "Robert, what did you do? What are you doing?" And my dad was like, I didn't do nothing. What? And we looked at that stereo, man. We was like, power off, put all that stuff up, close it down. We didn't mess with that for about a month or two. Like,
at least.
But yeah, I don't know, that darkness, man. It's a temptation for some artists, I think, and I think that's where a lot of drugs and that kind of stuff comes in too. And surprisingly, you were telling me before, like you don't even like drinking.
No.
You don't do none of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm in recovery.
Okay.
So I did all.
Oh, gotcha.
Over it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm approaching 6 years this summer, and still going pretty strong.
Well,
I still don't
congratulations.
miss it. Still don't miss that darkness or those enemies, those fights, those just the nonsense.
Yeah.
So I've taken what I've learned with all of that progression and being a better human, because it wasn't just stopping the drinking and the drugging. It was okay, what am I going to do now that's beneficial to not just me but people in my life, community, all that stuff. And so going to college really helped me stay focused on like bigger and better things. I stayed sober throughout all of that. I went to hangouts, parties, whatever I was invited to sometimes, but by midnight, people start turning to pumpkins, and I gotta go. I'm like, you won't remember this conversation. I'll see y'all later.
I like that. You say people start turning to pumpkins.
Yeah, like you'll catch me playing pool at a nice place, whatever, that's got a pool table open.
Yeah.
But you won't catch me drinking because I can't. I learned on my 21st birthday I can't play pool and drink at the same time, so that stuck with me.
Right,
so I'd rather
right.
just play pool and not deal with all the nonsense. And it's like $3 to go have some fun. You're not spending like, I don't even know how much alcohol goes in a bar, but
I know.
like it's safe, it's easy, it's not nonsensical that I had to deal with before. So
yeah. Well, congratulations. That's excellent. That's good, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've been in recovery since yesterday, and then tomorrow I will have been in recovery since today. No, I'm gonna stay sipping on some red wine, but Oh man, artist to me is life. We're kind of going back to that whole thing about what would you do if you couldn't do your art? I don't know what I would do, man. And I hate to say it like this, but it would be getting to the point like, do I even want to be here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't take pictures anymore. I can't make videos. I can't even record music. I can't even just go out and record sounds, found sounds and put them together and make sound collages. And
Right.
I can't do none of that. Well, why am I here then?
I think when I asked myself that recently, if it wasn't for art, what would I be doing? Or if I couldn't do art, what would I do? I think I landed on the conclusion that I'm just going to find a way.
Yeah.
Like,
Do
we
something.
have cave drawings
Yeah.
before, they're mixing paints and pigments like they were doing in the Renaissance, but like artists found a way, like as far back as the dawn of man, like there were artists. So I tried to get in that feeling of finding a way and applying that to a lot of things in life, that things are just going to work out. And I think, graduating from college was 2 years ago, but I still think like, man, those were some mountains I had to move, and I did it.
Yeah.
And sober, and all these things. And, it was not easy. I was working part-time, school full-time, art on, everywhere in between, inside, outside of classes. Like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about going back, in fact. Like, why not? Just did it for 4 years. I could do it for another 2.
Right.
Just haven't quite... I think I want to go back to tech, but it's kind of up in the air. I can go anywhere, and like I've got the studio here, but the world's an oyster type thing. Like I could just do whatever. And it's just like, what's the next best thing? What's the next right thing for me to do? Like, what's going to be good for me and mine? And it always lands on art somehow. Just getting better at it, or just keep doing it, keep putting it up somewhere, keep finding walls. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When I look at your work, I can't tell this, so that's why I'm asking you. Does Lubbock and West Texas, does it find its way into your art?
Yeah, a couple of times. There was back in last summer, there was a music and murals festival in Hobbs, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And let me back up a little bit. When I first moved to Hobbs, Hobbs and Lubbock are very, very similar. Like it's just 2-hour difference really, of like driving wise, but it's really the same landscape, weather is the same. When I first moved to Hobbs as a teenager, I remember drawing a mermaid that was like laid out on the sand, and there was a sunset, and she's just a fish out of water in the desert, and that's how I felt living in Hobbs, like from actually literally coming from the ocean in Corpus Christi,
of course,
to the desert. That found its way that time, and since then, last year at Music and Murals Festival in Hobbs, I painted live a mermaid sitting in an oasis in the desert, and she wasn't totally in the water, like her tail fin was in the water, but she was sitting on the rock like she's just perched, like she's just content. And there was like this little oasis and some greenery around her, and so my perspective and like what I've been able to do with this desert between Hobbs and Lubbock I found my way in it all, and I've put the landscape on a mural or 2 back in Lee County. It had like yuccas and stuff. It was like, you go a little bit out of town, you find like canyons and stuff, and I was like, this is what this is here.
Yeah.
So I love doing landscape. Right now I'm doing a tabletop of a landscape in ultraviolet paint. I don't know, like I've been doing more and more landscape more recently, both in watercolor also. It's been fun to like capture my growth in Lubbock in my painting. I think that's how I capture most of Lubbock, is like who I've become since living here, because I moved here, I think this month it's 6 years now. Okay. So I came here specifically to go to school, and even though I graduated, I decided I'm going to stick around to keep nurturing the the connections and networking that I've already been establishing as a student and otherwise. And now as an artist, I've been, featured on the news and the paper back home still a couple times. Like, I'm really all over the place. I've been in a couple magazines, and that's just me just doing the art. And people, like yourself, like, hey, you want to be on this thing I'm doing. And yeah. So
Yeah.
I get really excited to have opportunities to showcase, like at the Caviel Museum and at the Center for the Arts right now, at the Center for the Arts in Hobbs. Right now, my art's at a library back home, and I mean, it's just all over the place. You can't go too far without me being like, my art's over there and over there. Like, people ask me, where's your art at? And I say, down the street. There's one down that street. Walk into this building.
That's a question you wanted to just tell us where we can roll by and see some of your stuff. I know you got a lot of murals up, right?
Yeah, just down the street from here on 19th. There's the old Sinners and Saints tattoo shop. They have since moved. I can't remember where they're at.
Yeah, they was on Avenue A, wasn't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one with the hand and the dagger through it. I painted that. That was my first mural in Lubbock.
Oh, wow.
A couple years ago. And then the Conjure School over on M and N, 9th and 10th. Somewhere
downtown.
over there. Yeah. It's like right off Q.
Yep.
By the Civic Center or whatever. And then Mad Hatter's has a couple. They've got 2 downstairs that are finished. And then one upstairs is my Wonderland that I've been working on for a while. And that's almost done. I might do a little like grand revealing of it type thing, like have a little, post about it. I don't know, but I'm trying to finish that up in the next couple of weeks. So that's getting there. And then back in Hobbs, I've got the Smokes for Less shop. They're inside. Those were my first interior murals, but paintings at all in that scale. The fire department mural, I did that one. I did a mural on government property a couple years ago with a team, and that was really cool. And so I still get buzz about that. Like, oh, you're the artist that did that, or I pass by it every time I go by, or my family lives by it. So that was cool to be a part of that community, even though I'm in this over here.
Yeah.
But I say, like, all the time, like, it's not like I really left. Like, I visit New Mexico all the time. It's usually art related, but I still got my people over there. So I make it half business, half fun, half vacation, just make the most of it.
That's real cool. Lubbock has, I'm a native Lubbockite. So, you want to get technical. I wasn't born here.
You was born in Maryland, but you was raised in Lubbock for...
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm about to get your mic hooked up so you can interject and have it actually be audible. Born in Maryland, but I came here when my dad was from here, so, and all my family moved up here. Not all, but a big chunk of them moved up from Bryan, Texas, to pick cotton. It was good living back in the days, apparently. And anyway, I've just it's just part of me, man. The flat ground. I've discovered that all my travels in the military here, there, and everywhere, and I always miss home, Lubbock. And the reason I miss it is because most other places you go is green and hilly and trees and everywhere and foliage. That's pretty, but you can't see. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, like that's beautiful, but I can only see to that thing. Mm-hmm. But I want to know what's out there. In Lubbock, you can see forever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love that. To the point where, like, when we was in Maryland, I think it was Annapolis. I was like, I can't be in this city too much because it is way too. It's tight. The streets a little. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I had a truck at the time. I was like, oh, I hate going to Annapolis when you can't see nothing. You can't drive right. You tiptoeing in your truck. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you gotta get back to Texas. And then, of course, I bought a Mazda 3 when I was up there. Oh yeah. So now I got a little Annapolis type car in Lubbock. But anyway, it's funny how your surroundings just really kind of shape who you are. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they shape your outlook on life. I still to the point now where I like elbow room. Yeah. I don't like our house. We got a little space around us. I don't want no neighbors right up on me. In fact, if I could afford it, I would like my neighbors to be where I have to look through some binoculars and be like,
it's way over there.
I think they home. Is that their car? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
But unfortunately, I ain't got that kind of money.
Yeah, Corpus Christi is like big city, and then it lived in Santa Fe, and that was a moderate sized city, and then Hobbs is a small town. Yep. And then Lubbock. I feel like Lubbock is a nice size for me because the traffic's not that bad as far as like getting around. You've got the loop and interstate or not. And so you got options. Like, I miss my turns often. So I like the the amount of people. There's still like a lot to do, but
Yeah.
not too much where it's just overwhelming or
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm really excited to see that Lubbock is doing so much more festivals and like events and things
Yeah.
like that. Like having my studio downtown and being able to see the different pop-ups every now and then. It's just like, wow, people are really getting out and doing the thing, and like it's really cool because I moved here during COVID.
Right.
Like COVID started and then I moved out here
Oh,
to
yeah.
start school.
Yeah.
So for the first like 2 years, people would ask me, oh, you're an artist, do you do First Friday? I'm like, well, what is that?
Oh,
and
yeah.
so it took me some time and also Lubbock to catch back up
Right.
from all that.
Yeah.
To be more, just doing more events and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like caught on that wave when everything started emerging again. And now I'm at the point where I've stepped back a little bit. I had been doing a live series for the last 3 years up until this year. And that's what was at the Caviel recently was the Wandering Stars. That's what I did last year.
Yeah.
I just got tired.
Oh, right.
And just wanted to switch gears into doing like delegating that time and resources for all the gigs I was doing once a month to something else. And now I'm traveling a lot this summer and just been focused on different things, and that's been good. It's been good timing that way where I can like rest now and not just be so pressured to I don't know. It was fun, don't get me wrong. Like I'm gonna do it again next year for sure. But I've got more like I'm just less anxious now, having like that looming like once a month. Like even from vending gigs, I did one like a month or two ago and that was okay. But what I'm really excited for is to be back at the fair. Last year I got invited to be an artist for caricatures.
Okay.
So at the Lubbock Fair, and I don't know, sometime this summer when it comes back, I'll be doing caricatures out there again. So I'm excited for that. Because even with that, having no experience doing caricatures, but being asked, no, you're an artist, you can draw.
Right.
So it was a really fun experience because I've been live painting, like when I do gigs, even if it's like a vending thing, I'm still working on something. And so now it's changed. Now I'm drawing people and painting them with watercolor in real time.
Yeah.
And so that's been fun to see how that participation in myself and what I do has shifted a little bit. And I've been asked to come back and do it again at the fair. And that's just being asked to. I didn't, apply. I didn't go out of my way. Like, and so that was like a real honor for me. I was like, because that's... people doing caricatures kind of inspired me when I first started vending was, gravitating people to my booth is doing something. So just, sitting there, I'm like, I can draw real quick and I can paint real fast. So, especially out in the sun, like that stuff dries real quick. And so I can get a couple things down fast. And, it's always a fun challenge, to come up with something either based on the event or whatever's going on. If it's a series or otherwise, it helped keep me sharp, and now I can just kind of relax a little bit. And I've been working on Wonderland, like I said, so I've been working on that in my spare time, and that's been eating up a lot of like creative energy. It's a big room in that regard, like all four walls being just a whole couple of scenes on each wall. But it's been a good challenge. It's been, all of it is, as long as I can learn from it, it's beneficial. So, I just keep wanting to do more, learn more, get better, get stronger. I don't want to get stuck. I don't like feeling stagnant. So when I get that boredom feeling or the idling going on, I look for new things or stimulating things. Like I'll go back to like watercolor and do like quick stuff, or then I haven't really done a big piece in a couple of months now, but the bite-sized stuff helps with the big stuff. Like it keeps it all balanced where I can like knock out something quick like a water doodle, or if I want to chew on something big, I work on Wonderland.
It's I wanted to get into your personal style, and the question that I have around that is, Do you feel that your talismans and chains and stuff like that, do you feel like it focuses energy or draws energy to you, or does it just make you feel a certain way? Because you told me one time it was kind of like protection,
Right.
like a spiritual protection. Get into that a little bit. And the reason I asked that, sometimes when I feel real creative or real, I don't know what the word is. It's not creative. It's, I don't know what the word is. When you feel real liminal is what I want to say, like in between two worlds, and you want to travel a little bit. I call it navigating. When I just take a camera with me and just go where I don't know what I'm going to do. I got my camera and I'm just walking around looking. Oh, look at that. And you just go where it happens to take you. But I like when I do that, I have a bunch of silver rings, like biker rings, various spirit animals and stuff like that, and certain hats I like to wear, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I noticed that I like to wear that stuff when I'm navigating. It feels like putting on some armor or some weapons or something, you know what I'm saying? It's weird. Right. It's a weird, they looking at it like, it's just too weird. Yes, you're right. I am. I don't care. But how does it, does that ring a bell with you, or is it something like that?
Yeah, like especially like the rosary. I've also got some saints, like little pendants of some saints. I feel like it repels, if anything.
Yeah.
Like any of that darkness that I don't like.
Yeah.
It's also like like a statement, like I am, a part of Source. I'm a part of God's creation. I am on that team. And it reminds me that the promises and like I am protected and things like that. So it's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
I like a lot of rings. I like when I move my hands and make noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
My ears do the same thing. I just pierced my ears the other week on my own just because I wanted more. I was like, I got some room right there. Not anymore. So took care of that real quick.
Yeah.
I just I like the shiny. I like collecting things. I like how it feels. Like it's like like an armor.
Yeah.
Like whenever I get like if I'm getting my hand worked on, I have to take off my rings or my bracelets and stuff for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm just like, something feels weird. Like the other day, or a couple weeks ago or whatever, I had my chains off because something was healing, and I remember I was walking and I like grabbed like this in the air. I'm like, I'm not wearing any chains right now.
Yeah.
So it's like a part of me. Not so much like an identity thing, but definitely part of my aesthetic. Like I don't even know what I look like without the jewelry or the.
Yeah.
My hair's pretty normal right now. I've been rocking the red for a couple years, and that's coming back.
Yeah.
But I've just been letting it heal, just grow out and let it just be cool. But I've always been interested in alternative styles. I remember being a teenager and looking at the rock stars, and I'm like, man, if I were a rock star, I'd have a bunch of piercings and tattoos. And I got the piercings and tattoos now.
So you're a rock star then, right?
That's right. So I do get asked things like that.
Yeah.
Are you a rock star? Are you a musician? Particularly if they ask if I'm a rock star, I say yes.
Yeah.
And then drive away or something.
Right.
Real quick.
Where's your man?
Yeah. Just bye.
Yeah, it's that's a trip. I heard, I can't remember who it was. It was a famous. It might have been, what's that guy's name? McDonald. That is a white rapper. Got the braids. His name is something Tom McDonald or something like that. But he has mad tattoos and stuff on him, and he was saying like to him that was like, I think it was him that was saying this. That's like his there's no going back. I'm not getting a day job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a musician because I'm gonna look like a musician, and that's how you know we're gonna have to make it work. Because you're not gonna be sitting at a keyboard in a cubicle looking like him with different, weird eye contacts and all kind of stuff on. And I was like, that's a bold step to take.
Exactly. I don't want that for myself. I've done the conventional jobs and I don't like it. I don't like, it's not working for someone else per se. It's working how they want you to work, and that you're not a real person anymore. Like I've worked small gigs, like small jobs, and I've also worked for corporations, and it's not good. I mean, I don't think we want to get into this, but they're burning factories, right? Like, because people aren't getting paid what they need to survive out here. And so for me, I know how to do art. I know how to do it well. And I've been doing that since before, during college, after now.
Yeah.
And that's stable enough because I can't rely on anything out there. Everything's on fire and we don't know what to put out first.
Yeah.
So, yeah, art's the way to go.
Yeah.
For me, just I've embraced the lifestyle. I mean, I've got it all over my neck, my hands, all the piercings. I can't get into an MRI machine without exploding or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, we're trying to avoid injury.
Some Hellraiser get ripped apart.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
See, I don't get that reference because I don't watch scary movies.
That's right. And also, it might be a little before your time. I don't know. It was in the 80s.
I think they got like 17 of those or something.
That's
like
true
that.
too. And I've only seen part of the first one.
Yeah.
Because that was a little too rough. I was like, okay, I don't need to see all that.
Yeah.
I get it. It's hell.
Yeah.
All right. Man, Elyse, I appreciate you sitting down with me today. I think we coming up on about an hour. Try to keep it at about an hour, because podcasts can get long. But to me, considering our surroundings again, we live in a 15-minute city basically. So I don't want to give somebody a 3-hour podcast. Well, it'd take them a week to listen to that driving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I really appreciate you asking me to be on here. It's been really fun.
My pleasure. I'm so glad you came. And don't forget to hit me up next time you go to the studio. We can make some photos and stuff. I got a folder on my computer right now. It's called Girl Painting. But it's you. I didn't know you at the time. So I was just like, huh.
What was that painting? Do you remember?
I have to look back at it, but it was at Caviel's though.
It's probably a dragon.
It might have been, and I know you did the
three
one.
Faces.
Yeah, it might have been, and you did the one with the. There was a lady, and she was breaking a chain of some sort, and I remember that collage. It was a collage, multimedia. I guess
there
you
was
call it.
one
Mixed
of a
media.
girl pulling out strings with scissors. That was the multi collage, and then there was another one I did in July that I called Independence. Of a big hand, like reaching for it's got strings wrapped around its fingers, and the girl's flying away with wings, and she's got scissors, and she's got one string taut, and she's about to cut it. I've done a couple pieces over at the Caviel. They featured me a lot, and I really appreciate them letting me do that for the last year and some change now. It's been really nice not having to like hunt for new locations like every first Friday. It's just been super streamlined. Like they take care of me and my art and the patrons, and it's always a nice vibe to go in there. I mean, the last first Friday when I met you when you asked me to come do this, I felt compelled to go to the Caviel. Like, out of anything for first Friday, the weather was not great that night. It was like threatening to rain, but it didn't, because that's how it is. Yeah. And I was like, I just want to go to the Caviel. I just want to go, see who's over there and see the artwork and stuff. So I'm really glad I had made it that day. So now it could have been on here.
Yeah. And before we go, I forgot. There's one thing I did want to touch on. You got accepted to a program up in New York.
Yes.
With what's that cat's name?
Alex Gray.
Alex Gray, and you said he did the artwork for Tool. And so so that brings in some I got a question. Okay, because Tool is they seem kind of dark.
Yeah.
But you're not really attracted to that. But then now you're gonna be at a Tool that guy's freaking seminar or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that gonna work out for you? Is that what it's focused on? Or is he just helping you as an artist? Or so
it's really gonna focus on like spiritual stuff, not so much like yoga practices per se, but like if you've seen Alex Gray's work, like with the eyeballs and the multiple things and the the intricacy of the anatomy, he's gonna help us get really like dive into that more. It's for painters specifically. Him and his wife have this chapel of sacred mirrors, I think is what it's called, over in New York, and so that's going to be like a 8-day workshop where I'm just going to be learning how to implement the spiritual side into my paintings more. And I'm really excited about that because that's something I already like touch on and embrace and implement into my stuff, which is what got me into the workshop. When they gave me the acceptance letter, they said that 70 plus people applied and only they accepted 20 something. So I had One of the pieces I used in like my little portfolio to show them is this woman dressed in white, and it's a landscape orientation, so it's long ways.
Okay.
And she's reaching out before her, and there's 7 demons like wrapped around her. And there's one demon that's kind of above her, but like with that group of them, and it's like motioning to these 3 big hands behind it, like, we need help, she's getting away from us. And in front of the woman that's trying to get away is a warrior angel, like the Holy Spirit, like coming in to save them. And so it's stuff like that. I want to learn how to do it better from people who's been doing it for a minute, as far as like being able to portray that visual of what the emotion and the spiritual side is like experiencing. And so it's just another leveling up for me that I'm really excited about, to just be immersed in that. It's going to be a whole road trip getting there instead of just flying, so that in itself is going to be an experience to experience or to enjoy. Parts of America I haven't experienced yet. I've been like on a lot of the borders of it, like Alaska, Florida, California. I've been to New York once, but to work my way in the Midwest that way, I'm really excited just to get out and just do something different.
Yeah, that's funny that you just said that. I never thought about that, but you're absolutely right. If you're going to do something dope like that, you got to drive to it. It's whack as hell to fly to something dope.
Yeah.
If you got an event like that where you're gonna be all spiritual and immersed in your art, don't fly to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then I've got a whole 3 days after that before another program starts. I got accepted for the teaching program at the Texas Tech Museum. So that's another installment where I can learn how to do the thing better and be able to do more workshops on my own, and have the opportunity to maybe even work at the museum as an art teacher thing. So those are my immediate goals this summer, is just strengthening my tools and just getting better.
Yeah, man, I wish you the best of luck with that, and hit a couple of licks on that canvas for me when you're up there, man. That sounds dope. I'm gonna try to get into there's a, what is it called, the West Texas Photography Institute or something like that. Texas School of Photography. And I just found out about it not too long ago. I had no idea it was a thing, but I looked at it and I was like, dang, all right, I'm gonna see, can I get in that one of these days? Probably the next one if I can. I find that I feel like my work is better than some people do, so I don't know if I'll make it, but we'll see. Someday I will.
Yes.
But, you know,
just keep trying, whatever it is, like whatever route you want to go. You just think of where you want to be and how you're gonna get there.
Yeah. Well, hey, again, I appreciate you coming on the show. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
And let me know when you're gonna be in the studio. And all fair, man, I'm gonna talk to you real quick about some murality type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
But LBK, I hope y'all enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. I still feel like I got a million questions. We can come back and talk about some more stuff, because art to me is just a spiritual, deep process and part of the world and of myself and of other people, and it's just something I never get enough of. And the thing I like about it so much, you can never master it.
Yeah.
All you can do is get a little better than you might have been yesterday, but I look at it like, that's pretty good, but that still sucks. I'm going to do this next time. Like, okay, that's a little better, but I think I can do better than that.
Just keep going, keep growing.
Love it. Anyway, thank you for coming by. I was about to get back into a hole. I was about to keep going. We cutting it off. We stopping. But LBK, thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Focus LBK show, and man, we just had a great conversation today. Hope y'all like it. Let me know down in these comments down here. Put something down there. Put a heart or pink hearts, purple moons, yellow stars, whatever it is.
All of it.
Put all that stuff down there. Y'all take it easy, okay? All right, peace.